Hello, everyone. Welcome today. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to everyone out there. Excited to be here on another live session with all of my future Govcon giants out there, Govcon giants in the making, and also those who are watching this on replay. Good evening, good afternoon. What's up? Today, actually, I changed the topic at the last minute. I hope you don't mind. If you're on Facebook, you probably didn't see it. However, today I did change the topic. I just thought it'd be more fun. Today, I want to actually go over Unison Marketplace. So, if you're not interested in talking about Unison Marketplace and what that looks like, okay, cool. Then don't join us. But if that's something that you're interested in, how to middleman contracts on Unison Marketplace, I have not touched this subject in years. And I've kind of left it to chance and put some content out about it and I kind of dropped it. But given the times that we're facing, supply chain shortages, and also some reports that I've recently read on Unison Marketplace, I thought now would be a great time to bring it back for a number of reasons. So today, everyone out there who's joining us tonight, we're going to be talking about Unison Marketplace. Now, first and foremost, as always, as we're letting people come into the room, so far we got 20 people showed up. Make sure you hit the like button. That's the first thing. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Another thing that I do want to share with folks out there is this is your opportunity to connect with other people in the space, in the industry, in this business. That is such an important element. And we discussed that a few nights ago, looking at a report from Deltec. And so teaming, relationship building, you need to double down on that because that's going to be the key to having a high probability of winning contracts in the future. So again, today's topic is going to be Unison Marketplace. I thought we'd have some fun with this. Another thing I do want to share with folks is on Wednesdays, because it's Wednesday, why you don't have a contract, I do invite people to come up to the stage with me and ask their questions. So I would like to say, first and foremost, welcome everybody here. DeAndre Harris already did the first thing, right? Put in there exactly where you're from, what industry you're in, and tell us what you do if you have not already stated that. So DeAndre Harris, WEDS, Facility Services, IT Management Support, Miami, Atlanta, happy to be here. And we're happy to have you here as well. Like Maria said, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what industry you are in. And of course, hit the like button. This is going to be a fun topic, I promise you. And because it's Unison Marketplace, because it's middleman government contracting, it's probably going to get 5,000 views. So if you tell me who you are, I'll plug you and put you up to the top right now. And that way people can connect with you on wherever social handles that you have. So let's start. Jerome Hart, Govcon Giants, Stay Chill in Atlanta area, specializing in HVAC service and repair installation. Good job, Jerome. Quinn Lee, Yvette Wright, Sharper New Axe, based in Brooklyn, New York, consultant BD capture management, PMP project management. And I can attest to that. Yvette helps us on the back end with our organization as well. So thank you, Yvette. Gilbert and Sons Procurement. My man, Teddy Jackson, Chicago Painting, Striping, and Power Washing. KY from Connecticut, Administrative Consulting Services. Who else? Yes, and set up my phone call. All right. Who else? Who else? Who else we got out here? Yeah, look, tonight's topic is hot, man. This topic is hot. I'm telling y'all. Look, by the way, let me do something real quick. My brother wanted me to wear this shirt. I could not wear it because it was just too uncomfortable. But I do want to plug the VA hospital. He told me my brother works at the VA hospital. And so he said to me, hey, man, wear that jacket. But when I try to wear it, it's very uncomfortable inside my place. So I do want to give a shout out to the VA hospital, particularly Miami VA hospital. My brother has been working there for probably a dozen years, helping the veterans, take them their foods. And you know what? When a lot of people are not, especially now, it's a holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's a lot of lonely veterans out there in the hospitals, and family members they rarely get a chance to see them and spend time with them. And so my brother volunteers all overtime hours, extra hours, not for the money, because he knows that the veterans are out there alone in those hospitals. and there's no one out there that's taking care of them, that cares for them. So shout out to Miami VA Hospital. Now, don't forget, again, put your name in here. Tell me what you do. 38 people watching. Hit the like button. This is going to be a fun topic. If you're on Facebook, I apologize. They did not let me change the topic. So we're talking about Unison Marketplace. We're going to look at some contract opportunities. I figured, why not look at contracts? I was going to discuss some technical things, but I said, nah, I want to do some fun stuff tonight. It's already late. It's Wednesday, holiday season. Let's look at how we make some money. Is that good? Are we good? Does that sound like a fun topic to talk about tonight? In the meantime, I want everybody out there to let us know who they are, what they're doing. Right. And let's see. Stephanie Richard Parker, Moxie Global Services Facilities. I know she's one of the contracts. Nicole Bradshaw. Nice seeing your face as always. Free. Pleasure. By the way, Free is our resource specialist. So if you don't know Free, you better get to know her. Nicole says, let's make some money. Lisa Nelson, founder of C & Colors, Greenbelt, Maryland, graphic design, animation, and visual communication. And again, we are going to be inviting people up to speak later on. But I thought this was interesting because I haven't touched on this topic. And believe it or not, since I got my girl Nikki's here, it's funny, Nikki. I was on Unison Marketplace about, I think it was last week. It was a couple days ago, and I found an opportunity that your previous employer matched what they do, right? And so I sent it to the guys, and the salespeople could not find it, and they forgot about little Unison Marketplace. But I want to tell you why little Unison Marketplace is not so little anymore. Look at these statistics here of Unison Marketplace. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take my big head off the screen so y'all can read this, and you might even want to screenshot this. Interesting enough, it says in FY21, 93% of contracts awarded through Unison Marketplace went to small businesses, putting nearly $1 billion in the hands of small businesses around the country. If you look at prime contractor utilization goals, when you look at it, Unison at 93%, smallest advantage was 31%, service disabled 6.8%, women owned 25%, hub zone 12.6%. That's pretty good. All right. Now, they do use LPTA, but again, I use LPTA. It says trade off of source sought, updated seller attachment requirements, PDF package enhancements. So this is a pretty. I mean, I don't know how you match up to these numbers. When you look at the numbers speak out. Here are some of the top areas. I'm going to zoom in for those who are blind or who don't have big screens. Look at the top products that they purchase: IT and telecom equipment, software, supplies, $455 million in transaction volume. Furniture, $54 million in transaction volume. Communication detection radio equipment, $40 million. And then services, IT, telecom, maintenance, repair, rebuilding of equipment, $13 million. Housekeeping services, $12 million. So I think that's pretty good. It says FY21, they were 11,000 buys and to 60,000 sellers bid on 156,000 items. Not bad. So the odds are pretty good. And for that reason, I decided let's talk about this. All right. What else? Anything else? Look, hey, I'm here to share, to tell people what's out here, let them know, because when I see things and it makes sense to me, I definitely want to share that out there. All right, who else? Did everyone plug in who they are, what they do, where you're from? I see my man Q's here. All right. Q said he didn't get his notification, but don't worry, Q, we just started. You're only 6 minutes late. You're good. We haven't even dug into the good stuff yet. All right. Nicole says a lot of government forecast lists have been updated this week. So be on the lookout. Yeah, I like talking about money. That's what we're here for, right? Actually, an honor. It's funny. I wanted to take a look at this. I thought I would start off with something today that I looked at. Jim Rohn, one of my favorite. I don't even know if you say business coach, motivational speakers. He's the the master of spoken word for articulating business concepts. And I thought this was a very interesting one that I opened up the book to today, and I thought I'd share that with you. before we jumped in. And so this is like my form of prayer for everybody out there. All right. Who doesn't ever want to go to church? I think everybody always wants to go to church. The process of change. Change comes from one of two sources. First, we may be driven to change out of desperation, right? Sometimes our circumstances can be so out of control that we almost abandon our search for answers before our lives seem to be filled only with irresolvable questions. But it is this overwhelming sense of desperation that finally drives us to look for solutions. Desperation is the final and inevitable result of months or years of accumulated neglect that brings us to the point in time where we find ourselves driven by urgent necessity to find immediate answers to life's accumulated challenges. The second source that drives us to make change is our lives is inspiration. Hopefully, that is where you find yourself right now, about to become sufficiently inspired to make major and dramatic changes in your life. And with that, let's go. All right. Thanks, Colin. Welcome, Colin. Welcome from Hawaii. Welcome, everybody. Let's do it. I just went over the playbook real quick. Showed folks some of the numbers out here with Unison Marketplace. I did change the topic. Over $1 billion worth of small businesses. Says the service-disabled business, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, and you can see the numbers. They're staggering. IT, telecom, maintenance, repair, housekeeping services, furniture, communications, equipment. So, interesting enough, I logged in here earlier today. Just today alone, they posted 35 opportunities. And so, Eric, why are you talking about this today? Because it's funny. I was showing this to my son Brandon the other day, and he was like, "Dad, I gotta tell my friends about this." And so it's fascinating that sometimes you kind of forget where you came from and the things that you've done. And truthfully, when my buddies first introduced me to government contracting, and they started out, he was doing about $50,000 a year on Unison Marketplace. Much easier process, doesn't require most of the time. There's no proposals needed. Essentially, like I said, lowest price, technically acceptable. So you're submitting a quote that meets the requirements. So definitely. By the way, thank you for that, Nikki. And so I felt like, given the fact that we reopened Academy 3.0, one of the things that I caution everyone is when we get into this, and I'll show you some stuff. One of the things that's going to happen, I want everybody to be cognizant of, is when we start looking at these bids. It does require money, or it requires credit. So if you don't have the capital to buy it, or even if you do have the capital to buy it, I recommend that everyone do things as much as possible using supplier and vendor credit. So if you're going to be looking at reselling a product on here, I recommend that we do as much as possible with vendor and supplier credit. And one of the things, here comes my time, I get to plug what we're doing. Okay, I get to plug all my people. One of the things with us, when you sign for our programs, and I will share that on the screen here, is when you sign up for our program, we actually give you supplier credit. So when you sign up, even at the small tier program, we will give you one vendor credit reference up to $50,000. If you do a higher license, we'll give you 3 credit references up to $150K, and then a lifetime, we'll do 5 vendor references. So for me, that's really important to small businesses out here getting a start. I know what it was like for me when I first started this, and I was underwater in terms of finances. Some people did that for me, and so I've been extending that ever since to my students since we've started rolling out our courses and our training programs, because we know what it takes to get started. We know how difficult it is, and when no one gives you his chances, no one's willing to help you out. I know that feeling, right? And so I want it to be different, and I didn't want to just teach people how to do government contracts and win them and not give them all the resources they needed. So I thought that was really important for folks out here, was to extend that. We actually give it from one of my businesses that I have that we've done a lot of contracts with. And so we issue supplier credit, vendor credit for you so that you can help do your first couple deals. And I can tell you, we've had a lot of success stories with that. Mike Cantavi is one in particular. He's done probably, I think in July or August, he hit the 800,000 mark in sales for 1 month. And we probably gave him, that's why we actually capped the vendor credit, because we gave him dozens and dozens of credit references. And so he's the reason I thank him for why we capped now 135, because he really did take advantage of it when he was using it. And it's great, it grew his business, but at the same time, we wanted to make it available to a lot more people. So we wanted to open it up and make it available to many more people out here, because I know for myself, I didn't have everything that I needed to get started. And so again, sometimes we do need a leg up, and we want to make sure that we did that for folks. So I just want to say that out there real quick to folks. And so let's get into it. All right. So Unison Marketplace, 35 opportunities posted today. Let's go in and navigate. And by the way, let me do this too. I'm going to send this invite. If anybody wants to come up here and join me on stage, I don't care what you look like. Yes, vendor credit is for all industries. Thank you, Nikki, for that. All right, I just dropped in here a link for StreamYard. So if you want to come up here and join me and ask questions, you can. I did just drop that link in there for people. So let's walk through. Let me make this screen a little bit bigger. Okay, cool. And if you see anything that you want to look at, let's pull it up and take a look at it. Anything in particular anybody wants to look at? Electric forklift, open market. This is interesting. Came out. And yes, this is super easy to navigate if you've never looked at it before. All right, let's see. So it's really what I like about Unison Marketplace, which is really cool, is it's like you said, it's super easy to navigate. And I think a lot of times what stands in between, yeah, thank you, Nikki. Give me a thumbs up if make sure you hit the like button in this as well. What I like about Unison Marketplace is a lot of times what's standing between you and the next person is, again, when we get ready. Okay, Maria says make it bigger. Okay, cool. All right. How's that? Now it's 200% on my screen. So what happens is when you look at this stuff, a lot of times, when we're talking about building relationships, that's a different kind of business with the government. This, when I think about what Gary Vee teaches, and a lot of people teaches FBO and things like that, in terms of hacking and buying Disney dolls and things like that. That's what I think about when I think of here, Unison Marketplace. Uh, so yes, there are a lot of opportunities out there for people who want to get some experience, get some practice, and kind of get some ropes of responding to bids and opportunities that are not so complex. And that's what we're going to show you today. And really, kind of if like someone said to me, how do you break through that fear, right? Because some of the things that we do share and with people, they're volumes of pages, and if you've never read a solicitation before, it can be overwhelming. So this is definitely a way to look at opportunities that are less complex. This is one particular machine, so there's less chances of you making a mistake or anything drastic. And so that reduces your risk, which reduces your fear, and it should make you more comfortable and reduce your anxiety so you can actually respond to it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't bid and you don't respond, that doesn't help any of us. My goal is to get people to participate in this marketplace, to grow, to believe in themselves so that they can go on to bigger and bigger opportunities. So, if I can't get you to even cross the minimum threshold barrier of responding, then I've failed you as a teacher, as a coach, as a mentor. So, we're kind of taking a step back and looking at these things only because I want people to see really how, and I hate to use the word easy, but how it's much easier than the other way. So look here, they're looking for electric forklift. Essentially, they want one item. And then let's see, here's a template you download. I'm gonna pull up this template. Okay. And on the template, it's pulling up Microsoft Excel. Give me a second. By the way, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. If you're just joining us, make sure you tell us who you are, what city you're from, You want to use this as your time to network. We are discussing Unison Marketplace. We're looking at opportunities here. They did over $1 billion in small business contracts. And so now we're taking a look at bidding on Unison Marketplace. All questions are welcome. And if you want to come up to the stage and speak, you can. This is, okay, finally it showed up. All right, here we go. All right, so let me see if I can pull this bid template up on one of my other screens. All right, here we go. So this is the bid template that I pulled down, right? So we started off here. Sorry. All right, we looked here at this particular opportunity. This is what they were asking for. And it says here bid template. I downloaded it. This is the actual Excel template that you fill out. So all you're gonna do is put your manufacturer part number, description, price, and then here it says stop auto rebid at XYZ. So occasionally it is a reverse auction where the price keeps going down. You put up essentially your minimum price. But let's look at this. So electric forklift, 4 wheels, 4,000 pound capacity. Really, all you got to do is go online, find out where this machine is, make sure you become a rep or dealer for them, try to get supplier credit, and then at that point, you can provide the item. Charles, in this particular case, he said, wouldn't this be good for Sunbelt Rentals? It might be, but the government wants to buy this item, not rent it. And unless Sunbelt, you get the division that's selling. Most of the time, what I've seen with Sunbelt is when they are actually selling equipment, it's used equipment that people buy offhand. So I have not seen Sunbelt sell new equipment, only used equipment. Man, Sundial says, my fear is supply chain and can the government cancel after you've ordered it? No, the government cannot cancel after you've ordered it. No. When you say your fear of supply chain, then probably one of the things that you want to do, Sundanu, is that you want to make sure that you're providing items that are not impacted by the supply chain. So keep this in mind. Most everything here is Buy American. So you shouldn't be ordering things that are overseas, right? That require supply chain issues. So again, not saying that the components or parts of this particular machine won't be impacted, but no, the government will not. They can't cancel the order after you've ordered. That's another reason why, again, if you get supplier credit and something happens, and let's say, for example, let's say you do this order and you buy it on credit from the supplier. Let's go find a supplier that makes this. Electric forklift, 4,000 pound capacity. Yes, Maria's right. We had one of our students that sold what was it, Maria? It was a snowplow machine. Correct. We had a student sell a snowplow machine. All right, so look, 4,000, 4 wheels, sit down, 4,000 capacity. All right, let's see. Toyota makes some. Come on. Let's see. All right, here's one. Again, just an example. 4,000 pound capacity Toyota, 36-volt battery, $38,000. There you go. So, and again, I'm not saying that that's the one you're going to choose, but here's one, $38,000. So that's the price. So that's a lot of money for someone to come up with out of pocket. And I think that with the example Maria gave with the snow plow machine, the person, I think it was like 50 something thousand dollars, but they called the manufacturer. The manufacturer gave them a credit application. They applied for the credit application, not like your credit card. And so they were able to essentially finance this particular product. Just one example. We'll keep going. I'm gonna drop the thing. All right, so no, Unison is not only supplies, there are services as well, like we mentioned here. If you look here, it shows you these are the top services that were issued. So here's the products and here are the services. So here You might want to take a screenshot of this. IT, telecom, maintenance, repair, rebuilding equipment, housekeeping services. So again, they did, what is this? It's 150 million, 13. I mean, they did a couple $100 million in services, and then they did, the majority was products. So no, it's about 60-40 products and services. All right, let's keep going. This is waistband extenders. Waistband extenders. Anybody know what that is? Textiles, leather, fur, tent flags. Oh, waistband extension strap designed to increase the length of parachutes, waistband, and laden parachutes to rig parachute system with bulky equipment items. The waistband strap. Oh, okay. There's some stuff with parachutes. I don't know anything about it, but I bet you we could find it. Not these kind of waistbands, huh? I should have known. We put in waistband extenders. I should have known I was going to get something bad. All right, let's do parachute. All right, 5-foot elastic chest, waistband extenders, parachute harness. Oh, that's a Google patent. All right. I'm not good at finding parachute waistband extenders. All right, I'm gonna skip that. That was too hard. I'm not good at finding it. Let's see. Cutout silhouettes, professional chairs, frozen. This looks like frozen foods. Yeah, frozen food manufacturing. All right, look. All right, they want pizza, prepared frozen cheese, thin crust, mozzarella cheese, vegetables, potatoes, French fries, frozen tortilla. This is actually the area where Wesley, the 16-year-old contractor, where he made his money. So, all right, Yvette says 64 people watching. Where are the likes? Hit the like button. So this is actually where Wesley, the 16-year-old contractor, he made his money providing canned goods. All right. What else? Laundry nets, exercise equipment, gym equipment. Oh, look at this. So this is interesting. I want to download this template just because I want to show you different examples. Oh, give me the same thing. Hold on 1 second. So in this particular opportunity here, they listed 15 items, right? Base camp power rack, base camp jammer arm, single leg squat stand. Maria, you might know some of this stuff. Squat bar, chest support row, back attack, pitch shark, base package, adjustable bench, stand up. And then here where it says download template, here's the template. And so it just says, hey, given the manufacturer, the part number, sales description, unit price, and then stop auto rebid. That's it. So really, it's a lot easier to fill out, as you can see, than typical stuff that we go over. Like, for example, tomorrow we talk about sources sought and bid opportunities. That's a whole different animal and different approach. Here is really, like I said, you're pricing out. I think someone asked me about different type of services. So here, let's see, professional consulting services, document preparation services for GSA schedules, software licenses. Let's see, aircraft division BPA testing services. All right, so there's I just pulled up today. All I did was I went straight to the 35 opportunities that came out today. Funny thing, I know that, like, oh, look at this, pallets. Come on, who can't provide pallets? Plastic pallets, 40 by 48 to hold 3,000 pounds to 4,000 pounds. They want 300 pallets. Let's see if I can find these pallets somewhere online. Here we go. Plastic pallets. Granger is selling for $226. I know I could beat Granger out. This group is selling it for $19. This group, Uline, selling for $115 for 5 of them. Uline, by the way, all of us can get credit with Uline. Capacity, floor, 3,000 pounds, 40 by 48, stack 60,000, 8 feet. Here you go. 5, 10, 20, $23 a piece. Not a bad deal, right? Not a bad deal. So again, looking at yes. Let me put my link in here because really today, copy. What we do typically on Wednesdays, like I said, we bring people up to speak. And so I want to invite someone to come up, ask some questions, even debate me if you want to. Okay, my man Patrick says, Eric, that forklift is 38K. How much should I charge for it? So one of the things, Patrick, when we go back to that forklift example, right? That was 38K. You know, that was one forklift, right? What I would do is I would look at the range of forklifts for that type of capacity, and I would see what's the range of price. Because what if your forklift was like, for example, the Mercedes-Benz of forklifts? Uh, we made a video recently with one of my guests that says, would you rather be, what did it say, fully compliant or compliant? So as long as you meet the qualifications, right, then you may not need a $38,000 forklift. You can use a $28,000 forklift and still meet their government's requirements. So what I would say, Patrick, is first look at what is the forklift that meets the minimum requirements, that base model, because the government's not going to pay you extra for having extra bells and whistles on your forklift. Does that make sense? And then at that point, you make a determination. What is it? What is it worth to you? How much risk you're taking? Um, you know, if it's let's just say 28,000. If you take $28,000, let me do my calculator. All right, $28,000 times 15% is $4,200. Can you live with that if you don't touch the forklift? On the recent report that we went over on Tuesday with the Dell Tech report, it says that small businesses were making around 15% margins. So can you live with 4,200 on a $20,000 forklift that you don't touch? I mean, I probably wouldn't go in at less than 15%, right? And if I had more additional information on my competitors, I would go even higher. But without having any additional information on competitors and what they're doing, I wouldn't go in less than 15%. Make sense? All right, on the pallets, who's coming up to the stage, by the way? Who's coming up here? Who's going to join me up here today? Look at Maria says. So Maria makes a very good point, Patrick. Make sure you include shipping, right? Because one of the things that happens is they may sell you the forklift, like you said, for $38,000. And then what if that doesn't include shipping it to the location? Ooh, good point, Maria. Right? What if it doesn't include taxes? So you got to make sure that whatever number that you receive is an all-inclusive number to get it to the customer, like Maria said. And if there's any warranty information like that, she says insurance, but if there's any type of warranties that are required, then you've got to make sure that that happens as well. So, but the fee added to your price, DeAndre, is a different subject than what we're talking about in terms of his costs. We just want to make sure his costs are covered. Yes, I would ship directly to the government. I wouldn't touch it. I would ship directly from the manufacturer to the government. Absolutely. All right, hold on. I got my buddy Charles up here. Charles,
Aloha.
aloha. How are you, sir?
Hey, giant Hawaiian on Maui. Having a good old time here.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Well, it's 7:30 for you. It's 2:30 in the afternoon for me.
All right, love it. I love it. I love it. So let's
Rocking
let's
the
help.
Santa Claus beard.
That's good stuff, man. All right, so Charles, what other things are we missing here? There.
Well, I've been going into a whole different area because of what I've learned from you, and opened up a bunch of doors. To now, I'm being asked to represent products to contractors, like
Nice.
for the federal contractors. So where would I take those things to?
All right.
How would I use
Well,
our system to move that forward?
um, so you're wanting to take a you have a product that you want to sell to companies, contractors, small businesses.
Yes, sir.
I guess we would have to talk about what the product is and then figure out, um, you know, what type of small businesses. Is it for everybody? Is it for construction people? Is it for service people? You know what I mean? Like who can use it?
Yeah, primarily construction.
Okay,
One of them
so
is aluminum siding and insulated aluminum siding. The other one is for asphalt and concrete repair.
then what I would do is that I would go to uh, the conferences where those companies that use that product would be at, and I'd be present at that event. So, for example, aluminum siding repair, there's got to be a convention where those kind of companies that do that work are going to be at. I'd be at that conference.
All right.
I would be at that event, particularly. And then what was the other product?
The other one is for asphalt and aluminum excuse me, asphalt and concrete repair. So when you have
As-
potholes and stuff like that, so there's that happens all over the place, and it's
okay.
been tested already at the Marine Corps bases. They love it.
So, it's funny. I was actually just on, I was just, I was in San Diego a week ago, and one of the um, IDIQ contracts that they have is for paving and repair. And so all the contractors on that list would be perfect targets for me if I were you. Yeah.
Which conference was that again?
It wasn't a conference. It was a contract. So it was a NAVFAC contract. It was an IDIQ contract for paving. So you might want to look at the paving contracts, the paving IDIQs, because they have a lot of paving ones. And this one NAVFAC had. Let me see if I could even pull it up for you.
Nice.
Let me see if I can help you out. But NAVFAC had it, and so what they did was we were able to. They list all the contractors who are on that vehicle. All right, let me see.
And by the way, for everybody's watching, don't be afraid of Eric. He's not mean. Get in on the show. I'm getting my
I,
questions answered directly by the man himself.
I don't know why they
Don't be
hired him.
scared.
I don't know why they hired him, Charles. I don't get it. Uh, all right, I have to pull that up. Um, I would have to go back in my email to see where my team sent it to me and pull it up. But yeah, so what I would do is on there, like I said, you could go on there directly and have there's a whole bunch of paving IDIQs and contracts, and I would definitely look at those and find they list all the companies, and then I would talk to those companies, especially if your product was tested by the Marine Corps. All right,
Yeah.
cool. I love it. I love it. Jaqueen says, I would love to join, but it'll be along the lines of services provided and filling roles with temps. Yeah, Jaqueen. I mean, that's a very good question. That's in my wheelhouse. You know, what I'm doing tonight, and Charles will tell you this. I mean, I'm going over Unison Marketplace. For me, that's I'm really way above that area in terms of my sophistication, but I don't want to exclude people who may be more afraid and timid and, like who's never done this before. So I'm learning to kind of bring it back down again and say, hey, I don't want to exempt people because of their fears and because like I said, you've never been in business, you've never tried stuff, and you're afraid to mess up. I don't want to exclude you from participating in this marketplace. So I want everybody to have a chance. And if this is where we've got to start you at, then this is where we start you at.
Hey man, this is the best place to mess up.
Best
He's not
place
gonna
to mess
find you. He's not gonna find you.
up. That's true. Very best. That's the best place to mess up. So yeah,
Appreciate
no.
it, brother.
All right, Charles. Thank you for coming up, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you. Bye. All right, back to Unison. All right, so the plastic pallets, that's pretty straightforward. What other questions do you have out there? Someone said about services, swimming pool supplies, professional chairs, classroom furniture. I've seen construction on here. Let's see what we got. I just happened to pull up furniture, but we can go back and look at some other areas as well. By the way, tonight I know that Facebook they would not let me change the requirement. We're discussing Unison Marketplace, and we're looking at opportunities to essentially buy and resell products. And so that's what we're discussing tonight. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Someone's asking me, do they do services? Yes, they do services. It's just a different way of doing contracting than traditional going through sam.gov. It's much easier. As you can see, you can buy a water heater here that you could probably get out of Home Depot. You can buy pool supplies, plumbing tools, modules, these and all these things really. 9 data center racks, right? So anybody that's in that area, I looked this skid steer up the other day. That was like a $30,000 skid steer. HVAC units, light kits, walk-in refrigerators. So again, there's a plethora of stuff out here for companies. Okay, we got somebody joining us. Let me bring them up to the stage. All right, hold on.
Hello, hello.
Quinn, how are you?
I'm doing well. I am actually at one of our projects right now at the Texas Ranger Stadium. We're doing
Nice.
the final punch down list. So we
Okay.
basically rewired the whole stadium as far as low voltage.
Oh man, that's great. I like low voltage. Can you tell people? Can you tell people who don't know what low voltage is? What it is?
So it's everything that's not including electricity, structured cabling, running the fibers, the telephone lines, running the data cables, running the DAS systems, which is the antennas for you to get more service for your telecom provider.
Okay, there you go. That's right. Love it. I love it. Good stuff. All right. So tell me. So you said you're finishing up doing your punch list now, huh?
Yes,
How long
sir.
was
Say again.
how long did the project last?
So the project was slated for completion December the 1st, as
Uh-huh.
far as the GC, but I'm going straight through the clients.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So they're behind. They're slated now to be completed around March, and will be completed by the end of Sunday.
Okay. Nice. How long were you out there? How long were you working?
So we was given the bid at the last minute, 2 months.
And you
Two
came
months to
through.
rewire a whole stadium.
How many people did you have?
Uh, to the height of 40 people. That's the reason why I was asking about the temps.
Woo! 40 people.
Correct.
Wow. All right. So listen. Talk to me about Tim's. Tell me your question.
So,
Tell me what
sorry.
you got going. No.
So
I'm here.
my fears is when it comes to dealing with government contracts, and let's say if it's a service contract, or let's say as far as manpower or labor, I am stretched thin.
Right.
Is it
Everyone.
okay? Yes. Is it okay to be able to get temps to be able to cover the cost of your shortage of manpower?
Absolutely. But let me ask you this: are you hiring the temps away from the agency, or are you hiring them through the agency?
Hiring through the agency. Well, it doesn't. I don't know. Uh,
Yes.
when it
So I
comes to the government
mean,
side.
do it, but what look, the government doesn't care about you hiring temps. That's not the issue. The issue is making sure that you do not. And again, this only applies if you are the prime contractor, right? If you're the prime contractor, and if it's a small, like if it's a small business contract, that's when it applies. If you're a prime, and it's any other type of contract, or if you're a subcontractor, they don't care. But if you happen to be a small business and you fit, this project was set aside for small businesses, then they want to make sure that you're compliant with the subcontracting portion, right? So uh, when we talk about temps, if you're paying, like you said, you have 40 guys, let's say half were temp, right? If the project requirement stated, and for you, since you're doing low voltage, that's specialty trade contracting, they're probably going to make you self-perform about 25% of the work. Can you do that?
Yes.
Can you self-perform? Yeah. So if you figure your profit and overhead, and then some guys, you could probably self-perform 25%.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you could get temp workers for the other 75% of the work. So you could pay the
Oh,
temp agency. You could pay essentially, uh, let's say on the 40 guys, we talk about 75% of 40. So you could pay 30 people as temp
God bless it. I didn't know that.
out of 40. That's a good number,
Yes, that is. And
So yeah,
that'll
that'll help you out.
correct. I mean, that'll basically put it at my leads, the project manager, and an engineer.
That's what we want. And that's what they want you to be responsible for. And by the way, that's what you're going to qualify to win on is those three areas. Because what we're going to be looking for is making sure you have qualified leads, superintendents, quality control, right? The people actually that's be managing it.
Yes. Yes.
So the temps are not going to be on paper. That's going to be helping you to win a contract. You understand? They're not that high.
Mm,
So when we submit, right? If we were working together, and I submitted on your behalf, what I'm going to sell them on is the skill, like your background with your resume of all your whether it's PM, super, engineer. Those are the resumes we're going to submit to win the project.
okay. Okay. Great. See,
Everyone else,
I'm still learning.
no, that's good. Look, that's a great question because that's actually probably one of the biggest, most confusing areas that the government has.
Yes.
To
And
make you
that's
afraid.
what I always fear was that along was okay, I don't have the manpower if I were to do a service contract. I don't have the manpower if I become a prime to do a large project for the government.
Right, exactly. And like I said, again, um, because you are the rule says subcontracting and self-performance is the difference. It doesn't have anything to do with temps. But we know that your temps are gonna if you pay them through the temp agency, you're paying them as a 1099 like a contractor, right?
Mhm.
And so that would count against your subcontracting. So essentially, as long as that doesn't exceed 75% of your total budget, you're fine.
Holy snap! Yeah, I
So
didn't.
yeah, I mean, you only have to perform 25% of the work.
And that's easy to be able to. I don't mind. I was fearful. That was my one biggest fear was just that alone.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I learned some good news. I will. Those are my biggest concerns and questions. Other than that, I think I can be able to accomplish anything.
No. I mean, and we've got some people. I know that Maria. We have that student that I was trying to come on to get you to interview that does low voltage. I don't know if you remember them, Maria. I met them at the conference in Orlando. So we do have someone that Maria knows she can connect you with that they do low voltage projects. Um, they won some really large contracts. So maybe you could sub some stuff underneath these guys.
Yeah, because we just got we just been told that we won a contract for doing Google Fiber in Houston and in Atlanta, and so we're growing, but most of it's been outside, and I'm trying to do a mixture of both so I can diversify. And I just hired a cybersecurity manager as well.
Okay. Now, what's the cybersecurity manager's role going to be? I mean, to do what for you in terms of what?
So I've been working on what you was talking about with the low hanging fruits with
Yep.
the city and the municipalities and the state for Texas. And
Good.
there's been a lot of needs for consultants when it comes to cybersecurity work.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, got you. Okay, I was just trying to figure out how that tied into low voltage. That's why. That's okay.
Well, we do, that is our niche, is the structured cabling. As you told me, yes, everybody can do a lot of IT work, but what is your niche? So
Right.
structural cabling is mine, but we're branching out to fill a need for cybersecurity and network management.
Okay. No, that's good. Well, I mean, the thing is, listen, you're touching the cables.
Yes, yes,
You're touching the cables, right? So,
yeah.
I like that. No, that's good. Yeah. Well, like I said, I definitely connect with us, connect with our teams because we do have, we're supporting now some large contractors that have facilities throughout Texas, and they're doing Amazon buildings, they're doing Tesla buildings, and so, if there's some kind of way, I'm actually doing a presentation with the VA hospital coming up like the beginning of next year, where I'm gonna be the one pitching the large business supply diversity. I'm gonna be the one actually giving the talk on behalf of the large business. So I'll be the one leading that initiative. And so, I want to do that. As bigger companies hire me to support them, I'm then going to be advocating supply diversity side for you guys. And so, but if I don't know you, I can't be like, hey, use my man Quinn, for HS2. So make sure, make sure you know someone on our team, Erica, Maria, Randy. Make sure you definitely connect with one of them. Okay.
Roger that.
And thank you for sharing.
Thank you, thank you. And just to let you know, I've been a long time student. I just been working, trying to build my capability statements up. So I have a good preference when it comes to bidding contracts.
That's awesome. No, and I mean, I love the work you're doing. You've got past performance. You seem like an easy sell. I
Yes.
mean, that's an easy. You're already easy sell. So I love it. And I love, like you said, I know exactly what you do. I know who needs it. Everyone needs it, but like I said, when we're doing those buildings, this design build stuff. It's very easy to plug you in. So
Roger, Roger. Thank you, Eric.
thanks, Glenn. Appreciate you, brother. All right, good call. I love it. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, right? So become a student, learn. Come over and ask questions. I need people to ask questions. Welcome, Ronnie McCoy, my man. By the way, Ronnie, did you just hear that with Quinn? You know what he's talking about. So Ronnie's out on the West Coast doing his thing. So Ronnie's in the same construction area like us. All right. Sharon, does Unison use NACS codes and PCS codes or PSC codes? Um, Again, Unison, like I said, when we look here, let's go back and we'll just look at bids. Really, oh, sorry, I didn't share my screen. Really, when you look at Unison Marketplace here, right, it literally just talks about opportunities, right? So it's a more of a open marketplace where it just discusses it listed by categories. So I don't see here where it's listed by NAICS codes or PSC codes, but it's listed by categories. And so it's a different type of search criteria than we're typically used to. But someone asked about services. Here's preventive maintenance services, housing waste recycling services, waste removal services, trash services at the Coast Guard Fire Island, trash disposal, trash service, pest control services. So it doesn't appear that the Unison Marketplace uses NAICS codes or PSC codes. There's some janitorial contracts, there's professional consulting services. So it just listed based on categories. Questions, comments, concerns? Hey, Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye. What do you want to know about the non-manufacturer rule, Angela? Angela says, can you talk about small business non-manufacturer rules? Yes. Okay, Nikki says MTSI does low voltage. Nice. Angela, what would you like to know about the non-manufacturer rule? you have a question about it? Okay. Here. That's what this is what the rule says. To qualify as a small business concern, set aside sole source contract. Small business either manufacture a product itself, which you're probably likely not doing. Supply a product manufactured by another small business. Supply a product of any size manufacturer space granted waiver to the non-manufacturer rule. But I guess I need to know specifically what's your question. So that's what the rule says. You're welcome. You're welcome, Sharon, no problem. Is it the same as services, 75%? I don't manufacture anything. I think that your question is can you resell something? So I think you have a different question. Your question is basically, can you resell something if you're not a manufacturer? I think that's the question that you have. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? No. So Angela, no one on here manages is a manufacturer. Yes, that's the example we gave you. People provide things that are made from Uline. I use Granger. Yeah, we've got students that sell from all the major companies. They resell their products all the time. Yeah, don't get caught up in this this particular rule because Office Max and these companies don't make this stuff either. So Office Max doesn't make paper. Office Max is distributor paper. Granger doesn't make paper. Uline doesn't make paper. All these companies are reselling products. So don't get caught up into that. All right, what else? I love it. No questions. Perfect. So do we get to go home, go tonight? That's it? All right. Once you place a bid, it tells you how close you are to top bid price, which is why I like it. There you go. Welcome, Angela. All right. What else? Cool. Once again, like I said, if you're just joining us, we went over it today, Unison Marketplace. Just looking at it because they issued over $1 billion to small businesses. Great way to get started if you are uncomfortable, bidding the traditional way with the RFP process and writing proposals. This is simply a bid board where you submit quotes. And like I said, they have services and products. Uh, and so, again, my objective is to get people into this marketplace, get people to start winning contracts. Just be mindful if you do not listen, unless you're starting with something that's really small, I would not put up my money. So I would even say anything above $5,000, maybe even above, 10,000 range. I just wouldn't put my money up just because it really, for me, it really is a risk that you're taking in terms of the government and or the client not delivering and then you being stuck with these goods. So for me, I recommend getting supplier credit, vendor credit. Like Maria said, on our programs, if you sign up, we do help you with vendor credit. We actually will give you credit references so that you can get credit in order to buy these items to sell them to the government. So that is something that we do for you out there, and we take pride in that because everyone needs a leg up, especially those of us who, we don't have we don't have all the capacity, right? We don't have all the finances. We may not have all the team. So we definitely want to give you a leg up. If you don't know, give us a call. If you have any questions about any of our programs, the number is below. Visit our pages. Like I said, for me, I just want people to start participating because at the end of the day, regardless of what's happening out there with inflation, at the end of the day, the government is still spending money. Right now, I'm sure everybody's aware that all the big tech companies are laying people off. Twitter, Meta, Google, everybody's laying people off. And it's saying that this is actually a time where the government is hiring people. So whenever the rest of the world crashes and burns, the government basically ratchets up the faucets and they continue pushing stuff out. So I need all of you to learn. I need all of you to participate. I need all of you to grow, to succeed, to overtake your fears. And so I want to say that because I think it's really important. That's why I do this each and every day. So I want more and more people to win. And so for me, look, Maria just said that's true. Her GSA PM told me that to look at openings to working with GSA. You see, so again, the government's trying to steal Maria away. They always try to take good people away. So again, if you get a chance, definitely visit our course pages. It's giantcourse.com. Like I said, we actually give people. We're giving you credit references. Depending upon the level of participation, we will give you up to 3 vendor references, up to $150,000. So that should be a good enough to help you get started, right? To provide some orders, to fulfill some orders. And so if you do need to buy a $38,000 piece of equipment, you don't have to come up with $38,000. Essentially, we'll give you credit reference from the manufacturer that will allow you to buy that equipment and then deliver to the government. And then when you get paid, they get paid, and everybody makes money. So, Sun says they do use NACS codes. Can you go back to supplier credit? How to buy with no business credit? How to become a supplier for manufacturer? So that's a good question. Let's look at this. So I think the example that we gave on that machine was, let's see, that forklift machine. So he wants to know how to get credit. Let's look at, I think the pallets were Uline. So Uline supplier. All right, Uline vendor credit. Where is it at? Here we go. So how can I establish credit? New customers, customer stock number, back catalogs, like 30-day billing. All right, so you got to reach out to the credit department. You call the credit department, and once you call them, you're gonna request a application to apply for vendor credit, son. And when you do that, on the application, they're gonna ask you for credit references of people that you've done business with in the past. And so that's where we come in, and we give you a reference for having done business with us in the past. And so let's say, for example, those pallets you needed 10K. We'll give you a credit reference for the 10K that you need to get you approved with Uline so that you can then buy the pallets to then sell to the government. Does that make sense? I know I said it kind of fast. Makes sense? Makes sense? Everybody follow? All right, so sometimes the best to go direct to the manufacturer, not the middleman. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, so unfortunately, some organizations, depending on who you're working with, they may not allow you to work directly with the manufacturer. So, depending upon the size of the organization, they may send you to one of the distributors. But again, you can still get credit with one of the distributors as well. Typically, that's when they send you to a distributor, that's because they're like $1 billion company. But when you're dealing with people like Granger and those supply houses, I use Banner Supply, think people like that, then you could become a vendor directly with them. So it just depends on the product. But again, the thing that you want to do is ask for vendor credit and supplier credit so you can get net 30 terms. You don't want to. So look at this. And so what you don't want to do is you don't want to cut a check like 20K or 10K, and then let's say, for example, they ship the pallets and they're the wrong color or the wrong size. You don't want to be in between that because that's where you're going to run into problems. So a lot of times what happens to people, and this is a true story, look, I'm not saying even if you have the money, okay, Maria says ask, they will never offer it. Even if you have the money, right? Even if you have the money, let's say 20, 30K to buy the item, if the manufacturer makes a mistake and the government does not accept the order, right? What if the manufacturer says, okay, I'll fix it, but give me 6 weeks, give me 8 weeks. and the government says, I can't wait 6 or 8 weeks. You told me it's going to be delivered at this time. Then at that point, you've got to go through the refund process with the manufacturer. If you buy it with supplier credit, trust me, I've done this hundreds of times. And the government and the supplier makes the mistake. They deliver the wrong color or the wrong size. And again, you got everything right and got it all on paper. If the supplier, the manufacturer delivers the wrong item, and like someone asked, the government says, sorry, this is the wrong item. Okay, we'll fix it, but we need 4 weeks. The government can't wait 4 weeks. You then go back to the manufacturer, say, look, you gave me the wrong stuff. This is not what we agreed to. Take your stuff back, and then the transaction's over with. So it's really a risk preventative measure more so than it is, a person without finances measure. It's really, I'm trying to save you on headaches because manufacturers make mistakes. They're like all this stuff comes from people. So they make mistakes. Maybe 20 of the pallets are good and 10 pallets are bad. So if the 10 pallets are bad, the government says, okay, we'll pay you for the 20, but you take back those 10. If you pay with cash, the supplier or the Uline or whoever is going to give you a hard time and say, look, I'm not, we got to go through this refund process, fill out this paperwork, submit this information, and then go back and forth. I don't want you to have to go back and forth with anyone. I want you to be able to, like I said, get the product, get the government to pay you for it, and then buy it from them. Maria says, my clients received it from Banner, construction supplies and plumbing. We received the first order about $38,000 with zero money. Boom. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want to be able to do that. I've done it all the time. I've ordered hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of products, and I didn't put any money up. In fact, I did like I don't know, $600,000-700,000 order that went. I didn't pay a nickel, nothing. All right, so just sharing. Q said, "Hey, Eve, I have lifetime and need 4 more references for private and local economy and shifting and preparing for cutbacks and from budding and perhaps my new home. Good stuff." Jay says, "Who do you hire to manage your contracts?" Um, I don't know what you mean. We manage our own contracts. There's really nothing to manage with stuff like this. Really, we, it's a contract. It tells you the terms and what you got to submit, and then we respond to that. So, all right, what else? Look, manager sent me the wrong style of ceiling tiles after a spec sheet was sent directly to them. They do mess up. Absolutely. They make mistakes. So, yeah. I noticed some people here connecting on LinkedIn. So, Quinn Harrison, make sure everybody, you guys connect on LinkedIn. That's a great place. If you don't have a LinkedIn presence, you need one now. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and just pull mine up as we speak. I want all y'all to be. I got 93 people on here. Do I have 93 likes? Yvette, Maria, do you see 93 likes on here? Oh, look, my man T Max with Donna Peoples. All right. Here's my LinkedIn. Put my stuff up. Okay. Make sure you follow, like me. I'm gonna drop my LinkedIn in here. All y'all gonna make sure y'all. If you're not on LinkedIn, Maria says we're only at 68 likes. Why we have 68 likes and 90 people watching? There's my LinkedIn. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change this because our Govcon edu was hacked, so it's broken. So I'm changing that. But yeah, anything else on Unison Marketplace before we wrap up today? Definitely want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered in there. Teddy says, I'm looking at IDIQ. It's about 5 million. The order would be 2K to 5K. Do I need bond for 5 million or 2K to 5K? Teddy, that depends on what the RFQ says. The RFQ is going to tell you everything. Look at sections L and M, and they'll tell you what your bonding requirements are. All right. Zeta Fresh says, it's been a Dell Tech report today. Today's USA Global. Does that mean Dips is coming? We're on a roll. Actually, tomorrow we're doing Sam Gov, bid opportunities. So tomorrow we're doing sources saw and RFIs. 95 people watching. Make sure we get all the likes. Get the thumbs up. We just went through Unison Marketplace. And again, Unison Marketplace, really, They're doing products and services. They've ordered over $1 billion in contracts to small businesses that look like all the people that are watching this right now. So we went through how to bid. We went through getting vendor credit. We talked about our programs, questions and comments. We've got our whole team standing by, ready to take your calls. The phone number's on this bottom. Service at Govcon. Shoot us an email. Tomorrow, we're streaming again at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Somebody says, what if the government does not pay within 30 days? Actually, Antoine, it's funny that you say that. The government pays most of the time in less than 30 days. So, it's interesting that people always worry about the worst case scenario. But that's actually far likely from what's to happen. The government typically is paying us 15 days, 10 days. So, in fact, I know you probably missed the Deltec report that we discussed, but let me go through and I'm going to show you something while we have this up on the screen here. I'm going to show you something that I found, which is really interesting. I think it's definitely worth noting. Dun, dun, dun. Make sure, if you haven't told us who you are, where you're from, what you do, drop that down below right now. With over 100 people watching, definitely want to tell people. I want you to plug each other in so that you guys can connect way beyond what I'm done with. So definitely, I want you to do that. Plug each other in, and then so you connect even after this live has gone down. I want people still talking about, how we're going to work together, how we're going to bid together, how we're going to come together to chase opportunities. So that's something I'm very interested in, and I hope that you guys are as well. So, you know, tell us who you are, tell us where you're at. I'm about to sign off any minute now, but while I'm looking for this document, you can still be talking amongst each other. If anybody wants to jump on, I'm still willing to take someone to come on and ask questions. I'm looking for this report. Give me a second. Oh, I know where it's at. It's under. There it is. So it's funny. People say that, and by the way, I want to say something else is when someone asked that question about the government not paying in 30 days, we specifically talk about federal government contracting. State and local government is likely to not pay you in 30 days. So with the state and local government, I have never, ever, 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 I don't think I've ever been paid in 30 days. That's why I focus on federal. So I just want to make that distinction known because people tell you, hey, the government contractor is paid slow. You have to ask them what type of government contracting are you doing? Are you talking about a state agency, talking about a local municipality, or are you talking about the federal government? Because Eric Coffee told me that the federal government does not pay slow. And feel free to use that and say my name. I'm going to prove it to you in a minute. Just looking for my slide. Maria, how fast do you get paid on your projects? Company. Okay, I want to show you this because I think this is important because this is literally what we went over yesterday. Okay. I hope everyone can read that. This is not my report. I didn't make it up. This is Deltec report. This report, Deltec, industry study, 600 companies, right, on this report. We went over this Tuesday. Okay, on this report, done by Deltec, 600 companies. Half of them were large businesses. Half were large businesses. All right. This says, all right, the top performers in procurement reporting have a far shorter procure to pay cycle time compared to overall population. Says 33.81 days. Let's go in. Make sure we zoom. when an organization issues a purchase order until the payment is made to the supplier. For high performance credit management, integrating the current contract management software, finance, and conduct more internal audits, stand out. It's the biggest likelihood in 2022. So again, because they're interviewing companies that do 100 million to billions of dollars, this was their time from issuing a purchase order to getting paid. 6.72 days. This was a survey of 600 companies, half of them that do over 100 million a year. This is why we stick to federal. This is why we stick to federal. I get paid. I've gotten paid in 10 days. In fact, we got paid regularly on certain contracts in 10 days. Like 10 days, the wire went straight to our account. Because in the federal government, the money is already available before they issue the contract. State and local government, they do not have the money. And so they're issuing contracts without having the funds. And that's why they delay the payments. Okay. Maria says we get invoice in a month and get paid in 14 days. All right. So Erica says she's a vendor with a school district. They pay slow. I know people that are vendors with school districts that take 90 days, 120 days to get paid. That's why, again, what I'm talking about, what I teach is federal government contracting. This is not my report. I didn't write it. All right. Someone says break down the tax real fast before I go. What do you mean by taxes? Again, look, if you take in, $100,000 and you make, you pay out 80,000, you pay taxes on the $20,000. But again, if you've got, your car, you got your vehicles, you've got your lease, you got all this other stuff that you write off, you only pay tax on the difference. Look what Real Erica says she said this at this district. They do it. I'm over it. Slow with payment. Next is 120. You see that? This is why I tell people the districts are trying to put minority contractors out of business. If you ask me, they are doing their best job to drive us out of business. They are not supporting us. When people tell me to start off with the local government and these school districts that get these bond money that's funded by taxpayer dollars and they're paying Erica in 120 days, that is despicable. That is unfair. It's irreprehensible that they should even be allowed to do that and get away with that. They should all be taken somewhere and put away and given them different roles. Maybe they should be, filing paperwork somewhere for another municipality, but not making people payments. Because if they've ever run a small business, how can she survive and grow like that? This don't make no sense. That don't even make no sense. That's not fair. And saying we're doing advantages. We're already disadvantaged. We're already minority. We're already small business. We already don't have the resources. We're already short staffed. We got supply chain, inflation, everything else. And then this is what y'all want to do to people? Look, somebody said Chicago public schools pay super slow. So we already know all this stuff. So I got 6 days, 7 days on the screen. Maria told me she could pay in 14 days. I told her I got paid in 10 days. The longest it's ever taken me was 30 days, and that's on a final billing. So I just want to say that, and because I really think that that's a disservice to us. And Eli Smith came on my show, and he said that local municipalities put more small businesses out of business than any other particular government agency because of what they do. By the way, for one time for my brother, I just want he wanted me to wear this jacket. Shout out to the VA, Miami VA system. I see we got a lot of people from South Florida. I couldn't wear it; it wasn't uncomfortable, but I do want to give a shout out to VA. And by the way, also if you sign up this month, the first 100 people gonna get this Ostabu shirt on top of our goodie box. So I think now we've already had 35 people sign up. We're like 65 of these left. So you're gonna get my Ostabu shirt. Maria's got these planners. We've got a launch book in it, and I'm throwing in my girl Judy Bratt's book over here on top of everything. So don't wait till the end of the year to December like everybody else and signs up. Otherwise, you'll be talking to me about why I didn't get my box because I told you it's first 100 people only. So I'm not buying no more. I don't care how much you pay us. So you're going to buy it afterwards. But yes, Erica said, I'm done. I'm going to get in this FedCon stuff. Good job, Erica. No, it's ridiculous. They think that, like I said, they're helping us out. They're doing us a favor. They're doing this service to us. All right, 95 likes. I love it. All right, um, we can go all night, but I don't think that's the intention. Anything else I need to cover on Unison Marketplace? Tomorrow we're going to talk about more bid stuff, so don't worry. If you come in late, well, tomorrow we're talking about bids. I just want to go over that because I really thought that was important. I haven't covered it in a while, so I definitely want to talk about Unison. I'm happy that some people told me how slow they were being paid compared to what's happening when you're doing business with the federal government. So, like I said, I hope this helps some folks out there. And feel free to take a look, take questions. Our information is flying on the bottom of the screen. Buenas noches, as everybody says. In fact, Maria, funny thing is, I got a site visit to go to in the morning, which I just got a call today for Excel. So they're doing a project here in Boca down the street. So I got to go to a site visit myself in the morning. So I got to get up and go to work. I love y'all. Be good. Peace.